How often should the coolant be changed in your customer's car? Well, if you check the maintenance schedule, typically it's every 100,000 miles or so. But then why does that same maintenance schedule tell us to inspect the coolant every 10 to 15,000 miles? That's the topic for today's Mighty Minute. In past Mighty Minute episodes, I've shown you the importance of checking your customer's coolant whenever they bring the vehicle in for service. I've shown you how to test the coolant, how to interpret the test results, and what actions you may have to take based on those results. You can find it in Mighty Minute episodes 7, 8, and 9. I encourage you to go back and take a look at those videos. Today, we're going to do a quick review of the testing process, and we're going to also provide some tips on performing the actual coolant exchange. My first step is a quick inspection of the coolant level. Now, coolant doesn't evaporate, so if the level is low, I'm going to need to find and fix the cause as part of the coolant service I'm about to perform. The next step in the inspection process is to check the coolant's condition. And here I'm trying to find out three things. First, I want to know what the dilution ratio or mixture ratio it has between coolant and the water. The second thing I want to know is what is the pH or acidity level of the coolant. And finally, I want to know what the RA or reserve alkalinity is of the coolant. I can determine all three using the VS7 coolant test strips contained in the Mighty inspection package. If the dilution or mixture ratio is off, but the RA and pH are within specifications, I can add distilled water or straight coolant as required to restore the proper mix. If my coolant mixture has too much water, that's going to impact the freeze level of the coolant mixture. And if my coolant mixture has too much coolant, well, that's going to affect the ability of the coolant mix to disperse engine heat. If the pH and or the RA levels are below spec, well, we'll need to do our homework and identify why these levels are below spec. The question I'm trying to answer is, did the coolant fail the test because it's just reached the end of its useful service life, or did some other factor cause a rapid depletion of the inhibitor package and thus a premature death of the coolant mixture? It's important to be able to answer that question, and if it's the latter, to correct the cause as part of my service, or my service is going to suffer a similar fate. I'm also going to have to replace the worn out coolant with a fresh fill after I thoroughly flush the system. And doing the process with the Mighty Coolant Clean 3 makes this job very easy. You see, the Coolant Clean 3 uses a static method for performing the coolant exchange. That means that I don't have to have the running and at operating temperature in order to perform the service. And that's a good thing, because you can become seriously burned if you're trying to open a hot pressurized cooling system. The advantage to using this system is the option to connect to the degas bottle rather than the upper radiator hose. The degas bottle is easy to recognize. It's just a pressurized coolant reservoir with the cap located there rather than on top of the radiator. But be careful, not every vehicle uses a degas bottle. Some still use the old style coolant reservoirs. Now, using the Coolant Clean 3 is a simple process, but like with any other new piece of equipment, make sure you read the operations manual before you service your first car. Here are a few of the highlights on using the machine. Connect the machine to the vehicle battery by connecting the positive lead to the positive battery post and the negative lead to a good engine or frame ground as far from the battery as possible to avoid the potential of arcing. Make sure the cord won't get tangled in any potentially moving parts. Fill the machine's coolant reservoir with a minimum of 12 quarts of new coolant mixture. Now, every tech knows that the coolant is actually a mixture of concentrated coolant and water. That means water represents half the mixture, doesn't it? So you should give just as much consideration when you select the water you're going to use as you do the coolant that you're going to use. Never use tap water to make your own premix. Tap water contains minerals that will very quickly deplete the inhibitor package, the additive package, rendering the coolant useless for the long term. It also contains air to make it taste better. But adding air might be fine to make a drinking water, but it's not good when introduced to a cooling system. If you're going to mix your own, be sure to use either distilled or deionized water, or like I do, use the premix, and it takes the water concern out of the equation. Next, purge the machine as outlined in the operations manual. Now, if your customer's cooling system is badly contaminated with rust or other debris, consider performing this service twice. First, using distilled water in the machine rather than the coolant to help clean the system out prior to the coolant exchange. The Coolant Clean 3 machine actually has a spin-on filter just for this purpose, to allow you to flush the debris into the machine where it collects in the filter, where you can easily remove and clean it prior to your next service. Connect the Coolant Clean 3 to the vehicle either at the degas bottle or the upper radiator hose using the flush loop adapter and following the procedure outlined in the manual. Pour 1 bottle of Mighty VS7 Cooling System Rapid Clean in the degas bottle if connected to the bottle, or directly into the radiator if connected to the upper radiator hose. Open the ball valve on the flush loop and start the engine, allowing the engine to run approximately 15 minutes. Shut off the engine and close the valve on the flush loop. Turn the machine on as detailed in the operations manual. The Coolant Clean 3 will actually push the new coolant through the system in the reverse direction of normal flow. Now, this push-pull on either side of the thermostat will cause the thermostat to open. And this means we'll get a nice, easy exchange of the old coolant for the new with a minimum chance of any kind of aeration. After the service is completed, add a bottle of Mighty VS7 Cooling System Protectant to the system and top the system off with clean coolant. So if you want the coolant services you perform for your customer to last at least as long as the OEM fill did, number 1, identify the reason you have to perform the coolant exchange, correcting any causes as part of your service, and then make sure that you perform a good, thorough flush and exchange with the new coolant, selecting the proper coolant for the vehicle and the right water. Do all these things and you'll do it the right way, the Mighty way. Thanks for watching today's Mighty Minute.